try! Fans have got the try! What a try for fans!
Green was a striker, not a right winger.
Oh, Bruno! Oh, it's 4-2. Lewandowski's got a hat-trick too, and it's in! And RB Leipzig has scored! Oh, and he has! He has as well! Oh! Did he win it? He did, crept in!
Hey, who? Not John. I don't think it's John. Oh, it's not Hayden. It's
32-30! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, take a bow. I'm standing up.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport for a very different type of video. I'm joined by Jamie Davies. How are you, Jamie?
Hello, I'm good. Well, I mean, it's been a week anniversary since we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, as I'm a Man United fan, and I think I'm still hungover from that.
And in this video we are discussing the winners and losers, or basically which team had the best and which team had the worst transfer window. And everyone that's new watching, make sure to hit the like, share and subscribe button. If you want to see more of this thing, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more watch-alongs and more discussion videos. So Jamie, where would you like to start out of the traditional Big Six? Would you like to discuss the club that spent the most, or would you like to discuss the club that spent the least in this window?
I mean, I'm going to go straight down the route of who's had the best transfer window, and for me, it's Man United. I mean, I know it's quite biased, maybe, because I'm a United fan, but look, when you sign either Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi in a transfer window, that to me is enough before you even mention any other player. But the fact that they signed Rafael Varane for around 40 million for a player who is proven world class and still is still in his 20s and has won many cups, including the Champions League multiple times and the World Cup, that says to me that you've got arguably, and probably should have won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, let's not forget. I think you've got probably one of the best centre-backs in the world, one of the best forwards in the world, and then an up-and-comer of Jadon Sancho, who's proven himself in the Bundesliga. I'll be honest, I'm not so fussed about the Sancho one. I know that sounds daft, but I was expecting us to get him last summer. But I've noticed he's been quite invisible so far for United, but I thought he was when he had his few moments for England in the Euro. So I'm just hoping that Sancho does ease in as well. But let's not forget Tom Heaton as well, for free from Aston Villa, who we'll probably never see again. So there seems to be a bit of a thing of players being reunited with United, so Ronaldo and Tom Heaton. But yeah, I'm honestly thrilled with the Ronaldo transfer. I'm so glad we got Varane as well. I couldn't believe it when Varane was linked to us and it looked like it was going to happen. I was thinking, wow, you know, to have him next to Harry Maguire in defence, that's just completely improved our back line. You've got Wan-Bissaka and then Luke Shaw as well as your fullbacks. Hello. The only thing I would say about Wan-Bissaka is he's not really much of an attacker compared to his defending. So maybe that needs to improve in terms of our defensive line. But yeah, we've discussed this a few times where I think United I've missed out on a DM. We've already watched Fred be rattled while at Southampton and Wolves this season. And he does scare me. I don't like watching him. I just expect him to lose the ball and then they'll score. And it nearly happened against Wolves on the weekend. If it wasn't for his teammate Wan-Bissaka, who stopped that ball from crossing the line, then we would be talking about Fred very nastily right now. So he's a lucky man. But I think Man United have had the best transfer window so far. I say so far, it's done, isn't it?
We've had a comment from Jamie Burgoyne. If Luke says Liverpool has had the best transfer window, I will drive to Raben. Well, I've never said that Liverpool had a great transfer window.
You can go to Raben though if you want, Burgoyne. I mean, yeah, maybe Kevin Druids are playing tonight.
Bring it on. I will go to who I think has had the worst transfer window. And there's two clubs to pick from. It's either Arsenal, who have spent the most money in the Premier League. I think they've spent £160 million this summer. Or you look at Liverpool, who only bought one player in this summer, signed extended contracts to most of the core spine. Henderson, Alisson, Trent, Fabinho, Robertson, Nat Phillips even signed an extension, and even Reece Williams signed an extension. However, the team that had the worst transfer window in my eyes is Arsenal. Because how can you spend £160 million and not improved? How?
I think though,
I don't get
the
it.
the only thing I would back Arsenal with is to say that it's only been 3 games. You know, it'll take time. I mean, look at Chelsea. They signed 6 players last summer, and I can't remember what their start to the season was like, but either way, it got Lampard sacked by Christmas.
And then Tuchel came in and did the business.
But on paper, you felt confident with 1 or 2 of those signings still, like Thiago, proven defender. Werner has not been great. Havertz is still a bit of a miss for me. But yeah, and Ziyech as well. It's a weird, and yet they still win the Champions League. It's crazy. It just shows what football can do. But yeah, I do think with Arsenal, they need to get a win quick. They need to win the next game. They got to get Solfin. Always. I honestly think Arteta could be sacked in the next 2 games.
He should be sacked anyway.
Well, I mean, look, I'll say this now for Arsenal. They got to get Antonio Conte, and he's available, and I think he would maybe change a few things. But
why would he want to touch Arsenal? Why? He's a winner.
Hey,
he turned
people
down
like
Tottenham.
challenges. People like challenges
because Tottenham couldn't give him what he wanted. Couldn't give him everything he wanted. So why on earth would he go near Arsenal?
I mean, people like challenges, though, don't they? I mean,
yeah, but not that much of a challenge. Like he went to Inter.
Well, Rafa Benitez went down with
Rafa would have been a
Newcastle and took
perfect
it on.
appointment for Arsenal before he went across the water. But like, if you look at Arsenal's business, like their transfer strategy completely changed from last summer. Because last summer, I think they brought in Willian was like the big addition that summer. Willian on a free, experienced, ready to go. That hasn't worked out, and now they've gone the complete opposite approach, where we're going to get young talent ready to then hopefully push on. But like when you look at the players, Ben White, yeah, great player, wasn't even the best centre back at Brighton for 50 million. I know Liverpool and United were sniffing around him for the price of 35 million, I think. Like Leeds had offers rejected at 30 million because Brighton wanted more, so I think they massively overpaid for him. I'm sure he's going to be alright, but he's just not a leading centre back. He's more like a
how old is Ben White?
23.
You see, it's in a way maybe the money is more of an investment for the future of the club, maybe, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think Ben White for me is their best transfer.
I think Lokonga
from what I know of the players.
Transfer. I think Lokonga looks good, but and then Ramsdale for 30
Odegaard
million.
is hit and miss. And Ramsdale, I don't understand that transfer.
Like
because
30 million
Arsenal let go probably one of the best goalkeepers last season of Martinez.
Yeah.
They let him go, and look what he did for Villa last season.
But the thing is, the transfer business as a whole, not just acquiring players, getting rid of players, has been just as woeful. Like, I think they've got numerous players down to 1 year left on their deals, I think. Chambers, Lacazette, Nketiah. I think there's a couple of other players that are down to the last year. And that was after their Vinay, who renews contract, says no player's going to be left to 2 years. It's either we're going to renew them or sell them. Well, I think you kind of failed at that because you've got 4 of 5 players leaving and you've been rejecting offers from them this summer. I think Palace came in with a 10 million bid, but Arsenal wanted 20. Like, this is not the market, if you're a selling club, to start messing around with the prices. We saw that with Sevilla and Chelsea when it comes to Jules Koundé. Chelsea thought they agreed a price. Sevilla thought that they could get a few more million out of him. Chelsea walked away. And that's what it's like. So Arsenal doesn't like the whole club. It's like there's no experience there. Vinay's not an experienced whatever he does. Edu's not an experienced director of football, and there's been rumours of him doing dodgy dealings. Apparently, there was a thread on Reddit that a player that Arsenal have paid 20 million for, the club that they bought him from hasn't even received any money yet.
Dear.
So
that wasn't for Takia, was it? Because they got him for 19.8 million, didn't they?
Yeah, it may be him, but like the business just doesn't make sense. And Arteta, I think I've made my views clear on him. I think he is bang average. And if you say, we won the FA Cup,
yeah.
Harry Redknapp won the FA Cup. Is he a great manager? No. So that ends
I'll say this now about Arteta though. He's just another manager at Arsenal at the moment who will just get sacked regardless of his performances. I honestly think that any other manager that they bring in under the current ownership that they've got of that club, it's going to get worse. Arsene Wenger had problems at the end of his period. I'm not saying it was because he wasn't a good manager. He was a great manager for the club. He kept them afloat. He kept them getting Champions League each season, which is the most important thing in terms of business. Trophies is what you want to win, but at least Arsenal could still be out there going around Europe playing the best teams. And that's what you want, don't you, as a football fan, especially when it comes to a Premier League team. But then, Arsene Wenger was winning FA Cups at least, something to brag about for Arsenal fans. But I honestly think with Arteta, look, I like the guy, but I don't think he's going to succeed. I think he will get sacked soon. But I honestly think whoever Arsenal bring in next will just have the same sort of pain 12 months later, maybe. The players are crap. I'm sorry, but the squad's
crap. The senior
crap.
Players have let him...
They've let him down.
But let him down
Aubameyang, the moment he signed it... At the moment Aubameyang signed that contract, he's let the club down. That contract has been an absolute curse.
It's like, take the club's money. Like, I think they've struggled to shift Lacazette. I maybe said after the FA Cup final, sell Aubameyang, don't give him a new deal. I think I heard on another podcast that a guy would have sold him. And I was like, because you're going to give him a big money deal and you've just been Ozil'd. And you should have learnt that mistake when you gave Ozil 350 grand a week and let him go for free or for peanuts. Or I think they terminated his contract.
And Ozil is good, but you don't give him 350 grand a week.
Yeah, so like,
you know what I mean. You just don't. He doesn't seem that kind of caliber.
Yeah, and out of like the traditional big six, for me they've had the worst summer. They've spent the most money. And when you look at the signings, you're probably thinking Ben White's going to start. That's probably around it. Out of the signings, that's the one that's going to start. And the spine that finished 8th, it's still playing. And it's a year older. And players look like that they're tuned out. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Xhaka. How's Xhaka got a new deal? No idea. He twerked
the
for
Euros
Roma,
maybe, but
twerked for Mourinho all summer. Said, I like the look of going to Rome. Couldn't agree a fee, and Arsenal signed him to a new deal, and then got sent off. So Jamie,
I think Xhaka should have moved on, if you ask me.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier that it was between Liverpool and Arsenal, between the worst transfer window. So Jamie, if you want to discuss about my beloved club and their very poor.
Well, I mean, I could easily say that Liverpool have had a poor transfer window because they've only bought one player, but they've had a good start to the season. And I'll say this now about Klopp. I think Klopp may have learned this himself, and I think the squad have learned this from last season, where even with 1 or 2 injuries here and there throughout the season, they can still get through it. Even though they had some bad patches last season, and look what they did at the end of last season. They won the games that mattered, and it was enough for them to get into top 4. and finished third, despite the season that they had. So I honestly think with Liverpool, yes, Liverpool fans can like yourself, Luke, might be stressing and thinking should have signed a few more players. You got a strength.
I was a
etc.
little bit annoyed.
I do wonder if Liverpool maybe should have strengthened a bit more, and I would have thought maybe the owners of Liverpool would have tried to do that just to
It's
get
not
a
the
few
model.
fans back on their side.
It's not their model, unfortunately.
It's not their model. But at the same time, you think that maybe they would at least try and get the fans a bit more excited and forget about what happened with the Super League. But that's not obviously
you got
happened.
Ronaldo, and we just got a crappy apology video.
Yeah.
But basically,
but yeah, I we'll see. But Liverpool are still going to compete for the league in my eyes.
Yep.
They've still got the players. I mean, I'll say this now: Diego Jota, what a signing that was last summer, out of the blue. And yet, yeah. But the fact that like Jota has been scoring so many important goals already this season, I think he's fantastic. If Mo Salah doesn't score, Jota scores. I'm more concerned about Firmino and Mane.
He's out injured now, Firmino.
Well, even before that, I was a bit concerned. So I think for me, Liverpool can do it again. I don't think they're going to win the league, but I think they'll definitely compete for it. I just think maybe they should have strengthened a bit more. Yeah. But as I said, Klopp is known for making the most out of what he's got, despite how high-paced his training is and all that. Yeah. But I don't think Liverpool fans should be that upset. I don't think they should be that upset.
Well, my view on it, I know like we joked in the group chat about Mbappe, the dream. But like, let's be honest, the chances of him coming were like this. And even
he
then,
was never going to come.
It got poo-pooed because apparently we put in an official bid for him and PSG went no, and he went, nah, not for me. Because he wants to go to Real Madrid and that's where he's going to end up next season for free. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid get him and Haaland. I really don't.
Yeah, but like with the Liverpool thing, it's very frustrating because I think I was more frustrated in January when Klopp was, I think, for the first time in his tenure, he actually came out and said, I'm desperate for a defender. Give me a defender. I think if Liverpool weren't playing Leipzig in the Champions League, we would have probably got Konate in January. I think it's because that we played them in the Champions League. Wasn't going to happen at all.
Yeah,
that's why
I
we were
that.
giving Ben Davies and Kabak and Kabak's off to Norwich, and they're going to get relegated this year. So good luck to him.
Especially with Kabak.
Yeah.
You know, Kabak gets relegated with Schalke, he gets relegated with Norwich.
Yeah. So I thought, the club must have learnt its lesson, right? Hopped into the Champions League, just about 5 points behind United, finished above Chelsea. It's like, right, show me you've learnt your lesson. Show me you're gonna, okay, not go out like Arsenal or City or United or Chelsea and spend 50, 60, 70, 80 million pounds on players. Just get the players that he wants that's going to bolster the squad. I think most reasonable Liverpool fans said that we wanted 3 signings up from back to front. Centre-back, midfielder and forward, I think. Centre-back to replace Lovren, because like the fourth choice to replace Lovren. Centre mid for Gini Wijnaldum because he left, and a striker because AFCON's in January, and Salah and Mane are off for a month practically. But it's like we just didn't do it, and it's not even buying players; it's shifting players. We struggled to shift players. I think the only player that we shifted for any money was Shaqiri. Origi's still here. Minamino's still here. He called Divock Origi a game changer. He's not made the matchday squad this season. He doesn't trust him. Doesn't trust Minamino. I think he came out in a press conference and said, "Oh, name me something that name me an attribute that Oxlade-Chamberlain has and no other midfielder hasn't." So I think with the transfers, I think that the owners have something to blame. Michael Edwards has to take blame, and so does Klopp have to take some blame, because surely the machine the well-oiled machine, something wasn't working this summer. Whether it was shifting players or bringing players in, because when I hear words of there's no value in the market, I'm thinking, what a load of rubbish. There was plenty of value in the market this summer. If you wanted it, it was gonna be there. Like, Saul went on a loan to Chelsea for 5 mil. Not an obligation, an option to buy.
Not a bad transfer.
Pardon?
Not a bad transfer,
Yeah,
that.
not a bad transfer, and we'll touch on Chelsea in a bit. Obviously, Canate was wrapped up, done, signed, still delivered, and apart from that, I just felt like the club sat on their hands, and it was pretty obvious, because the journalists were coming out close to Liverpool saying, expect a quiet window. I think Fabrizio trolled us, said don't worry, Liverpool will sign players, but didn't sign players. But that's the thing that I'm most annoyed with. Transfer window shut now. All we can do is back the team. I still think we'll challenge for the league this year. I don't think we will win it. I think we're going to fall short, because it's a squad game now. It's who's got the best squad, and Liverpool
Don't have that.
probably got one of the best starting 11s in the league. Debatable. But when you look below that, probably got a decent back four. Nico, Canate, Gomez, Simicas. That's probably a solid back line with Kelleher in goal. Now, and then when you look forward, it's looking thin. And then when you look up front, it's even thinner. And don't expect Liverpool to do any business in January, regardless what people are saying. Like, oh, Liverpool, they're gonna sign players in January. No, they're not, because that's not the model. It's spend what you earn, and that model means the pandemic has affected Liverpool more than any other club, because the owners will refuse to leverage debt against the club like the Glazers had with United. So yeah, that's what Liverpool. Still think they'll do well this season. I think spoiler for the Champions League video, I think Liverpool are going to be dark horses for the Champions League this year. I just think everyone has slept on them. I've said on our group chat, Champions League is staying in England this year. Whoever wins it, it's going to be from an English club. Moving on to the European champions, Chelsea's business. I say Chelsea's business has been pretty good.
Even though they've hardly really done anything, they've just gone in there and got what they needed.
Yeah.
Which is, remember the Lukaku.
Got what they needed.
Okay, they had the first bid rejected, if I can remember, but then he was always going to come. Chelsea have got the money, they've spent it well. I think it's great to see Lukaku back in the Premier League. As a United fan, obviously, loyalty. I don't know. His loyalty was dead when he came to United. In all fairness, but it's good to see someone like him in the Premier League again, because look, he was amazing to watch in the Premier League. He was awesome for Everton, great for West Brom, and to an extent, he was good for United. The only thing that I'd say about Lukaku at United was that I remember him not scoring in the big games, but he still scored a lot of goals. He did what his job was. And obviously at the time he was mixing with Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well, when Zlatan didn't have much to play for by the time Lukaku joined, because Zlatan had a very nasty knee injury. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. He's already scored on his debut against Arsenal.
Absolutely bullied Pablo Mari.
And then I think the Sol transfer is spot on.
Yeah.
I don't think Chelsea needed that much more. I think
arguably they'd say the centre back, because there were during summer, but
I mean, am I right to think, who do you call it? The German
Koundé.
defender.
He got sent off for France for an absolute horror tackle for France, Jules Koundé, the other night. But
Rudiger, I still like Rudiger. But Rudiger's, for me, I like his character. It's not if he's a good defender or not. I like his character. I think he's got the right character.
It's the ultimate shithouse.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
He doesn't take any shit, and I like that, because it's like, it doesn't matter who the player is, he goes and does his job. Yeah. The only thing I'd say about Chelsea, I was quite good that Olivier Giroud went.
He's got COVID now, so he'll probably miss the Liverpool game in the Champions League.
Who Giroud?
Yeah, tested positive.
Oh, really? Okay. So yeah, I was gutted about Drew because I actually think he was quite underrated. But to be honest, when you get Lukaku in, would he have got that much game time? No.
Yeah, and when
And that,
you got Werner and Tammy got shipped out as well, I think with
Yeah.
Chelsea, as good as their ingoings were, their outgoings were just as impressive. I thought
it's very
Tammy,
long, isn't it?
for 35 mil. They sold, I think, a youngster, Lewis Bates, to Leeds for 2 mil. Livramento at Southampton for 5
I love how they
mil.
gave Danny Drinkwater out to Reading on loan.
Yeah,
It's like, just
they
sell the
shifted-
player. You
They've
know
just
what I mean?
shifted loads of players. Bakayoko's gone. I think Zappacosta's left on the permanent to Atalanta. I think their lists of outs is just as impressive as their ins. Of course, it's not a lot. I'd say for me, Chelsea have probably had the best summer. I'll touch on my views on the United after this, but I just feel like they addressed everything they needed. Got a striker. I know that the Haaland thing, but when you hear the numbers that came out for what Raiola wanted for Haaland, no surprise Chelsea took a massive step back. I think it was Haaland 50 mil a year wages, and his dad and Raiola 40 mil each. No wonder Raiola wanted him shifted, because in January they're changing the agent rules, so they only get 10% of the transfer fee. So you can probably tell why Raiola wanted to shift him around now. We have a comment from
Well, he can.
EG had Damas that says hi, hello to you. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure to smash the like button now. Yeah, but I think for Chelsea, I think they've got everything they needed. Arguably, some people may say they needed the centre back. I think they're pretty
Well,
good.
I mean, this is
I
the
think
thing
they're
that when
pretty
you,
good
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when you've just won the Champions League, you don't need drama, do you? In a transfer window, you just need one or two little things that need to be adjusted, and that's what Tuchel has done. And let's not forget, last summer they spent a fortune on 6 or so players. So I don't think we were expecting them to get loads more players in. Why fix something that's not broken?
They just needed the finisher, because when
They
Tuchel
needed
came
a signature. Yeah, absolutely. And there's only a handful of them in the world. Haaland, Lewandowski, Lukaku, Ronaldo, Messi. Those are the only players, and maybe Mbappe as well when he's in form. Those are the only players where I'm confident to see that ball go in the box and they're going to score. You know, there's not many players like that out there, and that's who they've got. They've got a specialist in scoring goals. I cannot stress there's not many of them out there. And I think when you've just won the European Cup without a striker like him, I think you're getting him in could improve your chances on winning maybe more than the Champions League, you know, a Premier League. And I think Chelsea have a great chance of winning the league this season.
We have a couple of
I think
comments,
they're
Jamie.
definitely in the mix.
We got a couple of comments. One from EG Hadama saying, "Jamie, do you know me?"
Yeah. We always say hello on the chats. Hope you're well.
And then we got a comment from Stuart Davis. "Do you think letting Zuma go was a mistake, especially as they play 3 at the back and Tuchel loves rotation?"
I think so. If you don't bring someone else in, I'm not a big Zuma fan. I don't think he's.
I think they did a good decision letting him go, because he's good in the 2, not great in the 3.
No,
Not great.
but
in the 4.
I'm just thinking of depth more really.
I just
But at the same time, I've not rated Zuma ever, to be honest. He wasn't exactly great for Stoke either.
Him at West Ham, good for Chelsea. Stuart Davis says
I think West Ham-
massive signing. Yeah,
I think deep down West Ham fans won't be happy about that.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll like the price for him.
I think Lukaku is a massive signing. This narrative that he's completely changed, I don't particularly buy it. I think he is a flat track bully. I still think big games in Italy, I don't know what his stats are, but it isn't that impressive. I know we got that highlight of him versus Latan in the Milan derby, but I don't know what his stats are in the big games for Inter in his 2 years. I didn't see him showing up in that Europa League final. I didn't see him do that. So, let's not...
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it was
let's not sit on the
more
hype
Godin
train
and all that
saying
that
he's
scored.
completely changed just because he's slimmed down a bit. Let's be honest, I thought in that Liverpool game, I thought he was pretty bang average.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
Van Dijk, the whole media hype over
But-
him and Van
but-
Dijk
but-
was like,
but Luke,
give me
does
a
that-
break.
But Luke, does that not go against you saying that they've had the greatest window out of the lot? Because
I think
United have signed Ronaldo, who's proven to score in God knows how many games, and he scored more goals
Yeah.
than the Lukaku in Serie A last season.
I
So
think
I think you're kind of going against what your point is.
no,
Then this
I
is
think
why
Chelsea had the best
I say-
window because the big games last season. Did Chelsea struggle in the big games last season? No, I thought they were. What games did they struggle in under Tuchel? The games against the bottom half. And guess what? Lukaku's an expert at banging in goals against the smaller teams. So in that respect, it sort of does work out in a way because.
But in all fairness, we don't know, Luke. It could be completely different
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
That's the point. I mean, look, it's easy to
Yeah.
assume. I mean, Ronaldo could be crap, but I'm not having that at all in my head because it's Ronaldo. He's not as good as he used to be, but my God, the guy could still score. He scored 2 goals late the other night. I mean, it says it all. But yeah, I agree deep down there. Like as I said about Lukaku, he's an absolute expert at finishing.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you sign him? Simple as that.
But Goin says, Jamie, stop. He's already dead.
Who?
Who? Me? I just want to touch on the United's business before we discuss City's business. United's window, almost perfect. An 8 out of 10 window. But I think the signing of Sancho a year later than expected, but you saved money on him, so I guess that's out of the summer signings. Sancho to United is probably the one that hurts the most. Because I would have really, really liked them at Liverpool. And the fact
Who,
is,
sorry?
Sancho. Because I thought that he
yeah.
would have done well. The fact is that we had an offer at the table that United just went, we'll double it. That was it, apparently. The money was fine, but the wages were, United offer came in 250. Liverpool offered him 150. But
I honestly think I've got nothing wrong with Sancho. I fear though that he won't do well at United. But I just feel like this is all set up for Erling Haaland to come to United. You signed Sancho, who was literally Robin. It was literally you had Haaland as Batman, Sancho as Robin.
Yeah.
Sancho and Haaland were Batman and Robin up for Dortmund. They just absolutely nailed it and got every job done, and they saved the day.
yeah.
But them two together were electric. You've got Ronaldo that's just come in for United as well for at least 2 years, with a possibility of being there for 3 years if they extend the contract to another year. What does that say to you? What does that say to you in terms of bringing bridges together if Haaland comes to United? I think it's all set up for Haaland to come to United as long as they have a good season and they have the money on the table.
Another comment from Burgoyne saying player record, Luke. I don't get what that means. So Sancho, great signing. I think Varane, value for money.
What a signing.
Even though I'm hearing rubbish
Better than Van Dijk.
that Ben White's
he's
going to be
cheaper.
a better transfer because he's going to cost us over the course of his contract. Enough of that crap. Varane is the second best defender in this league.
Could be the best.
He's
In
not
time.
the best. I think with Varane, let's see how good he really, really is.
He had a great debut though. Did you see him?
Had a great debut.
He was spot on.
I thought Wolves. Oh my days, Wolves disappointed me. I thought they should have. If they finished their dinner, United would be on the end of a battering. Because I thought there was a few times that.
Yeah, they
Wolves
should have
just
beaten us.
walked
They should
through
have beaten us. Yeah,
That Frogber double pivot was just.
they should have beaten us.
Yeah, and that goal should have been disallowed. But I guess we'll. Yeah, I just feel like with Varane, great signing. Like it showed in the Wolves game already what a difference he's made. Like he's already covering Maguire's, like where Maguire gets beaten for pace. There's just a Varane, just round the back, just ready to sweep up. So I think that was needed. Ronaldo, it's a perfect opportunity signing. The fact that Matip better than Varane, better than Van Dijk, Stuart Davies. I still think Matip and Van Dijk are the best centre-back pairing in the league. For me, personally. I just lost train of thought. Yeah, Ronaldo, perfect opportunity signing. Juve definitely wanted him off the books. He's on stupid wages. I think...
Allegri even said he was going before it was confirmed as well.
Yeah, I think Juve wanted him off the books. I think his goals looked like that he was a success. But was he really a success?
I think he did. Look, I'll say this now about Ronaldo. I don't know why they... Look, he still won trophies.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like...
He still won trophies.
He won Coppa Italia, he won the league. He still had success in it.
Yeah, but I guess...
People wanted him to win the Champions League, and I get that. But
the team
in all
wasn't set up
fairness,
for him.
yeah, but Juventus were not good enough to win the Champions League with or without Ronaldo. If they had a younger Ronaldo, then maybe, but I don't think they had a good enough team anyway. I mean, Dybala, one of the most overrated players I've ever watched, personally. Don't get that.
His
Never
output
understood
dropped
it.
significantly when Ronaldo joined.
Yeah, and it showed they couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of you.
But going with another comment, Lovren better than me, better than Waterfall, better than Mata, better than VVD, better than Van Dijk. Who cares about your Shrewsbury defender? Who gives a...
In all fairness to Dejan Lovren, he's won the Champions League and he's a World Cup finalist.
Yeah,
not that I'm saying he's better than them, but he's had not a bad career, and he's won the league, hasn't he? Didn't he win the Prem? He was still part. Yeah, he was still part of your team.
Yeah.
So
he's
had an all right career.
I think with the Ronaldo signing, it's perfect. It makes perfect sense for the Glazers. I think as soon as Ronaldo signed, I think the valuation of United went up by 250 million. I think. Like the stock prices rose dramatically
It's crazy.
when he joined.
Crazy.
And
That just shows how big Ronaldo is.
Queuing outside for that Ronaldo shirt, and Glazers out, so awfully quiet. Awfully quiet now.
But in all fairness, that's what it is. It's a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll still have problems with these owners. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It'll keep going. Yeah.
And Stuart Davies said, and the Russian League. Yeah, he did win the Russian League as well last season, Lovren. Yeah, I just thought it's a perfect marketing thing for the Glazers. Perfect. It's given such a buzz. I think fans have forgotten that they're still crap owners. The roof is still leaking. Forgot the fact that they got a problem in midfield, but it's great. I'm sure he'll do really, really well this year. And if Ollie does not win a single thing with him in the team, P45 on the guaranteed got to be sacked. You can't not win nothing.
We'll see what happens.
With arguably the greatest goal scorer in history. However, still needed a DM. Still needed a DM. That balance in midfield is going to be key, and I just don't think Ollie has managed to get that balance right. I think to start of last season, he wanted to play with a single pivot, got tonked by Spurs down to 10 men, went back to McFred, and pretty much stuck with it. But I just feel like if he wants to take that next step forward, if he got an Ndidi or a Declan Rice, I know Basuma was mentioned, but let's be honest, Man U's scouting's not clever enough to go after Basuma for that money.
Let's move on anyway.
Yeah,
let's talk
move on
enough
to
of
City.
United anyway.
Let's
talk about City, and I've got a quarter of an hour till the women's game is on for United, so let's get on.
Let's talk about City. Jamie, what do you think of their business? They only made one signing in Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Good window, average window.
Average, but I don't think they needed much. Again, they're another team they won the league.
Yeah.
You don't need a big adjustment. I'm just a bit surprised they didn't get a forward in, because I think last season, I'm not saying they were lucky, they deserved to win the league, but I think that was a one-off.
Yeah.
But they thrashed Arsenal. I can't remember who they played as well at the Etihad this season already, but thrashed them both 5-0. Yes, they're teams that aren't playing well at the moment, but that doesn't matter. Goals is what matters in football, and they've had different goal scorers already. So that says to me that maybe Man City could get away without a forward, and maybe Pep Guardiola trusts the system.
I don't think they'll get away with it this year.
I think Grealish signing is, look, it's Jack Grealish. I think he's an absolute brilliant player. As a United fan, I'm gutted. I'd have loved to have seen him in a United shirt. Sadly, obviously that'll never happen now, I don't think. So yeah, it's a shame he's gone there, to be honest, but that's the way it is. They paid the price that Villa wanted, and there he is. He's a Man City signing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many strikers out there they could have got, really. I don't think, unless they really wanted to go out and get Kane. I think they were after Kane, but I think they saw the price and thought, no, he's not worth that. He's in his late 20s.
Apparently
he's in his late 20s.
Got to 140, and Levy wanted 160.
He's in his late 20s, and he's not even the best striker in the world. He's probably the 7th best striker in the world. So if you're going to go spend that amount of money, go and actually buy someone like Haaland. I'm sorry, but Harry Kane is overrated.
He's a bottler.
I'll say, and he's a bottler. He should have scored a hat-trick last night. Missed 3 absolute sitters.
He shouldn't be England captain in my eyes, but that's a debate for a different day. Got a couple of comments.
Yeah, I don't mind. He's got some character in him, I
think
but
Ronaldo's signing was a huge for United. Stopped City strengthening, and he's still world class. Agreed. He will take the chances Martial and Rashford has missed in previous seasons. Agreed.
Well said.
Massively.
Well said.
That
this is it. Yeah.
Depth is ridiculous. And then, but going with the comment, McTominay is a good enough DM. Stop trying to talk down this United side.
McTominay, no. McTominay is quality, but he's got Fred dragging him down. I cannot stress
he's more
that.
Of a box-to-box midfielder rather than
McTominay is whatever role it is. McTominay is amazing to watch. His energy is non-stop. He's so fit, as in
his
fitness is incredible. What's that? Sorry.
It's a B-Tech Jordan Henderson for you.
But I just think it's Fred. I think Fred drags him down. He drags him down in the mud.
And
Simple as
Stuart
that.
Davies with a comment said, completely agree about Kane. Yeah, I'll echo what he said about City. I thought they've had a pretty average window. Needed a forward like other of the top sides.
They are not winning the Champions League with that squad.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think they are. Not when you look at where PSG have strengthened and the fact that Chelsea have kind of strengthened as well.
I just think
and United.
City...
I'm not saying United are going to win the Champions League, but I think we've strengthened enough to at least try and at least get out of the groups this time. But I just think if City really, this was a summer where City had to sit down, I think, and go, we were very close to finally winning the European Cup. We need a striker, get him in, and they didn't do it. It's amazed me, really.
Comment from Burgoyne, Luke, let Jamie talk.
Sorry?
A comment from Burgoyne says, Luke, let Jamie talk. I completely agree with City. Bought a player which they didn't really need. Did they really need another attacking midfielder that can play out on the wing to create? Not really.
I think they did it because it's Grealish.
Because they did it because it was Grealish and it was 100 million.
It's hard to let him go. Let him go somewhere else.
The excuse that City fans go, we don't break transfer records. Come on, we don't break transfer records. Excuse gone. Desperately needed a forward. Whether or not it was Kane or Ronaldo, I don't know how close that really got. But Lewandowski said he wanted a new challenge. Towards the end.
I'm surprised they didn't look at Lewandowski. I would have definitely signed him. I know it's only short term, but why not? Proven.
Yeah. I don't think City will win the league. So I don't think.
I think they can win the league. I just don't think they can win the European Cup. I think they can win the league again because they've done it quite a few times in the past recently. But yeah, I honestly think that City needed a striker if they're going to challenge for Europe. Because I just don't think many clubs out there will take them. Will have problems.
No, I don't think so too. One last thing, Jamie. Your signing of the transfer window is.
No doubt, Cristiano Ronaldo. Not because of. Sorry, I'll just explain. Not because of the fact that it's Ronaldo going back to United, marketing, opportunities, as you said, opportunity signing, and also what a fantastic changing room it'll be for the likes of Greenwood, Alanga, all these youth players we've got coming up to get him in there with them. Don't think you can ask for a better way to try and learn and how to be a better player when you've got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo there. It is the perfect signing. 12 million as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. He's nearly as cheap as when we first bought him when he was a nobody.
Yeah. Apart
It's
from
mad.
this time, his wages are going to be like £500,000 a week, so that is different.
Oh, you'd pay it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Stuart Davis with a comment: if they were spending that much for Kane, should be offering Munich should be offering Bayern what they wanted for Robert Lewandowski.
Exactly.
Completely agree.
I don't understand. I mean, Lewandowski played for Pep, so it's not like they didn't know each other. You know what I mean? I'm sure they got on because they won many trophies together.
Yeah, but like Ribery won trophies with Pep and he slated him, so you don't know what their personal relationship's like. And Stuart Davis,
this is it.
Ronaldo to United is mine too. Just trying to think of a less obvious transfer than Ronaldo because it makes sense.
I think the Danny Ings transfer to
I
Villa
was
is a
going to
good
say Danny
one.
Ings. That for me,
And Leon
Villa.
Bailey.
great. I don't know
think
how well
Villa-
he's going to do, Bailey. But I think Danny Ings
Yeah,
guaranteed goals.
Yeah, I think sometimes if he went to another team in the Bundesliga, like Bayern Munich, you'd think great signing. But when it's a different league, you don't know, do you? You don't know where it's going to go. But I'm hoping it'll go well for Bailey. I like him. I think he's a good player. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is what a professional has to do. They have to prove to the club that they joined that they are who they are,
Yeah, a bit of a
and what they
fall
saw
from
in the
grace from him.
Bundesliga.
Bit of a fall
What's
from
that?
grace for Bailey for Leon Bailey because he was linked to Chelsea for like £80 million like 2 years ago. So the fact he's gone to Villa for yet again another smart transfer. There's been plenty of clubs that are outside the traditional big six that have done smart transfer window. I thought Spurs have had an alright transfer window, I guess. They kept Kane. Great, apart from that. Sold a few players. I think Romero's a good signing from Italy. But I don't know how he fits into Nuno's system where Nuno's defenders are passive rather than front foot aggressive defender, which is what Christian Romero is. Stuart Davis with a comment: Ings was incredible, and how it came out of nowhere, no media knowledge on it. Those are the best transfers in my eyes.
Yeah, when it's under the radar.
Fabinho and Diego Jota for me, signings that came completely out of nowhere, and it was dusted within a day. Fabinho's one was done and dusted,
Especially Jota.
20 minutes. So, and I'm gonna go with my signing of the window. I'm gonna go different. I am gonna stick with United. I'm probably gonna say Rafa Varane. It's more of an upgrade, more of a problem position that needed sorted, and I think he's going to do well.
I can't believe we've signed him for that price. I really can't. And when I watched him in that debut, I thought, we've got a fucking great player here. Again, it's only one game, could easily change. But I honestly think it's nearly like when Klopp knew he needed to get certain players in to improve and win trophies when they got so close with the squad he had. And I feel like Varane is like that with United, like Van Dijk went to Liverpool. If that makes sense. You're bringing in someone that's just completely changes everything. And that's what Varane is. And Ronaldo. Simple as that.
There's a comment from Burgoyne. Saul, signing for Chelsea was big too. Stolen under Liverpool's nose. Yeah.
That was definitely under the radar, yeah.
Definitely
I wasn't
under
expecting
the radar,
that.
but I think the rumblers of him going to Chelsea were going on for like the last week of the window. Yeah, great signing for Chelsea. Chelsea's midfield four looks brilliant. I don't know how much he's going to play. I'll be interested to see how much he plays. I'm wondering if he's going to end up playing left wing back at points because but that's where he's been playing the last season and a bit. Is being left back, left wing, right back, everywhere. So it's basically like a Spanish James Milner, but a lot better.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in, comment, liked, and hopefully subscribed. We'll be back again this weekend, Jamie. Do you want to let the viewers know what's happening this weekend on the channel?
So at least on Sunday we've got the Arsenal-Chelsea women's game in the Women's Super League at 12:30. So do join us for that, for a watch along on Sunday. We might also be following Raducanu, who's the British tennis player, who's currently in the third. She's in the third round tomorrow at the US Open. We don't know what time she plays because they haven't put out the schedule yet for tomorrow. But once we know, we'll put the event up on the channel, and do join myself for that as well.
Yeah. So a massive thank you for Jamie for joining me, especially after all my
Pleasure as
technical
always.
difficulties that I had leading up to this stream. I was really stressed. So glad it's all worked out.
No one should have technology.
Yeah, technology sucks. But thank you for everyone that's watching, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you.
See you later, folks.